Database Management System. We are going to discuss what is a database management system. In simple terms, the DBMS or database program is a software that allows you to create, access, and manage databases. In managing a company's database, it requires you a great deal of coordination. The database administrator or DBA is the person in the organization who is responsible for managing and coordinating all the databases activity. Here are some of the most commonly used DBMS: Oracle Database, MySQL, MongoDB, Microsoft SQL Server, MariaDB, PostgreSQL, IBM DB2, and Microsoft Access. In order to understand the database management system, first, we need to understand the meaning of data in the database. Let us first discuss what is data. The data is the most important element of any DBMS, and therefore, it is important to understand the meaning of data. The data in the context of DBMS indicates any facts, figures, observations, images, or any such similar things that can be recorded and then digitally processed. The data must be recordable so that the raw data can be processed with the help of a computer system and the data processing software. Let us consider one example of data for an employee database. The data pertaining to an employee might include employee ID, first name, last name, department, designation, and contact email. So on, let us now discuss the meaning of the term database. The database, in simple term, is the organized collection of interrelated data that can be efficiently stored and accessed to manipulate the database. It offers many advantages and the most efficient way of storing and organizing the data. The database is an important element of the most software applications designed to store, access, and process the data with the help of any DBMS software application. Let us now discuss what is database management system. DBMS is a software designed to perform various database operations. The database operations performed by the DBMS includes creating new databases, administering, managing, and manipulating the databases. The database manipulation operations includes creating new database, modifying the tables, adding and deleting the data in the table, and other such user-specified. Each of these programs performs a different task related to the database management system. Some of the most commonly used DBMS includes MySQL, extensively used for web application, Oracle, Microsoft SQL Server, IBM DB2, Microsoft Access, and MariaDB, PostgreSQL. Data Dictionary. What is a data dictionary? It is a collection of names, definitions, and attributes about data elements that are being used or captured in a database, information system, or part of a research project. It describes the meanings and purposes of data elements within the context of a project and provides guidance on interpretation, accepted meanings, and representation. A data dictionary also provides metadata about data elements. The metadata included in a data dictionary can assist in defining the scope and characteristics of data elements as well as the rules for their usage and application. Why is a data dictionary? Data dictionaries are useful for a number of reasons. First, it can assist in avoiding data inconsistency across a project. Next, it helps define conventions that are to be used across a project. It provides consistency in the collection and use of data across multiple members of a research team. Next, it makes the data easier to analyze. And lastly, it enforces the use of data standards. We are now going to look at data dictionaries. And basically, data dictionaries are metadata for a database. So if we take a look at the structure of a data dictionary, basically we are outlining the fields that are within the database. And we're outlining the characteristics of those fields under the field name, data type, data format, field size, descriptions, and example. So in this database, we're going to look out for students' detail. So our fields might consist of student number, surname, first name, address, phone number, and date of birth. First example is student number. Data type is integer because it might consist of numeric value. Data format is n, which means number. Field size is 10. Description, unique number for students, and example is 20568768. For surname, first name, and address, their data type are all the same. Then field size 20, 20, and 50. Description, student surname, student first name, and student's address. Example is Santos Joshua 2516 or 10 Santa Mesa, Manila. Phone number, data type is integer also, data format, number, field size is 11, description is student's contact. Example is 0913255467. Date of birth. Data type, date, time. Data format is date, month, year. Field size is 10. Description, student's date of birth. Example is 22/12/2002. File retrieval and maintenance. A DBMS provides several tools to retrieve data. You query it to retrieve. Query is a request for specific data. Users can instruct DBMS to display or print the result of query. Commonly used methods are query language, structured query language, and query by example. Query language. A query language consists of simple, English-like statements that allow users to specify the data they want to display, print, store, update, or delete. Each query language has its own formats and vocabulary. Structured query language is a popular query language that allows users to manage, update, and retrieve data. SQL has special keywords and rules that users included in SQL statements. Query by example. Most DBMS include query by example or QBE, a feature that has a graphical user's interface to assist users with retrieving data. Refers to a method of forming queries in which the database program displays a blank record with a space for each field. You can enter the conditions for each field that you want to be included in the query. Data security. Database security refers to the collective measures used to protect and secure a database or database management software from illegitimate use and malicious threats and attacks. Database security protects the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of an organization's database. The CIA triangle. The CIA triangle constitutes very important aspects of database security. First is confidentiality. Confidentiality refers to keeping the data securely so that only authorized users can access to it. It is roughly equivalent to privacy. Next is integrity. Integrity involves maintaining the consistency, accuracy, and trustworthiness of data over its life cycle. Lastly is availability. Availability of information refers to ensuring that authorized parties are able to access the information when needed. Secure and maintain a database. As you add and delete tables and records from a database, you should secure and maintain the database. so that it can continue operating securely and efficiently. If you neglect to secure and maintain a database, chances increase that the data can become compromised or inaccessible. The following guidelines describe how to secure and maintain a database. Secure the database. First is, each person accessing the database should have a profile that includes a username and a strong password. Second is, only administrators should have access to create and delete tables. Third, consider allowing typical users only to view or modify records. Fourth is to restrict users to accessing only database tables and records that are necessary to perform their job functions. Fifth is to limit the number of unsuccessful sign-in attempts in a specified period. Maintain the database. If the database contains a table that you do not need, remove the table from the database. Second, evaluate the fields in all remaining tables and make sure they are assigned to the proper data type. Third, if the database contains a large amount of number or records, consider deleting records you no longer need. Fourth, navigate to and then click the command to compact and repair the database. Last, if you want to protect the data in the database, consider selecting option to encrypt the database. Recovering from identity theft. Every 2 seconds, someone becomes a new identity fraud victim. Experts recommend that people who have experienced identity theft should follow this advice as part of their resolution efforts. First, request a fraud alert. Contact the fraud department and request that a fraud alert be placed on your accounts to help prevent credit accounts from being opened in your name. Second, order credit reports. Once you file a fraud alert, you are entitled to receive a free credit report. Creditors may report activity on a monthly basis. Obtain an FTC affidavit. FTC affidavit is accepted as proof of identity. The form can be used to dispute claims with the creditors. Fourth, report internet crime to Internet Crime Complaint Center. Report stolen finances or identities and other cybercrime to the ICCC. Keep records of your actions. Create a journal that records the names of people you called, phone numbers, dates, and correspondence sent. Review financial accounts. Look for unusual activity. Check to see if any accounts were opened recently. Last, enroll in a credit monitoring service. These companies send messages to subscribers when unusual activities is detected on a credit card to alert consumers to possible identity theft. Backup and recovery. Occasionally, a database is damaged or destroyed because of hardware failure, a problem with the software, human error, or a catastrophe such as fire or flood. A DBMS provides a variety of techniques to restore the database to a usable form in case it is damaged or destroyed. Backup or copy of the entire database should be made on a regular basis. Some DBMS have their own built-in backup tools, and others requires users to purchase a separate backup program or use one included with the operating system. Number 1. More complex DBMS maintain a log, which is a listing of activities that modify the contents of the database. If a registration department specialist modifies a student's address, for example, the change appears in the log. Second, a DBMS recovery utility uses logs and/or backups in either a roll forward or a rollback technique to restore a database when it becomes damaged or destroyed. Third, in a roll forward, the DBMS uses the log to re-enter changes made to the database since the last save or backup. In a rollback, also called backward recovery, the DBMS uses the log to undo any changes made to the database during a certain period. Number 4, continuous backup is a backup plan in which changes are backed up as they are made. These backup techniques can cost more than the other backup strategies, but it is growing in popularity for businesses. Database forensics. Data forensics is a digital investigation process which deals with database contents and the related metadata to reveal malicious or suspicious activities carried onto or through database systems. What are forensics databases used for? A computerized search of information relating to a specific type of physical evidence. These databases are useful to criminalists because it makes easier for them to link a suspect to the commission of a crime through comparative analysis of evidence.